Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack. Back again to bring you Mythic Demonic Inquisition. Just some tips and tricks and stuff like that for all healers of how you can best conquer this fight. Alright, for me, I chose to play Disc on this encounter because there's consistent 2 targets that I can be dotting at all times. To me, this just seemed like a very strong advantage to be able to, throughput-wise, as well as also the ability for Disc to have a lot more control over when they are ramping up in terms of their healing, and the extra damage certainly doesn't hurt either. For this fight, as a healer, we generally didn't, because of how the fight works, where there's not a specific mechanic similar to like Haratan, for example. It's like, oh, here comes the burst. We better make sure that we raid cooldown over this. This fight can ramp up in damage very, very rapidly and just kind of sneak up on you. Early on in the encounter, we have so many interrupts available. Everyone's upstairs, so you don't have to worry too much about the spammable nuke from, I believe it's Belak, on the guy on the right side, the caster. You know, you don't really have to worry about that, but as more and more people are going downstairs, the damage can just ramp up out of nowhere, and you need to be able to put out tons and tons of healing at a moment's notice. So those things are really, really important to kind of keep an eye on, and I think Disc does a very, very good job of being able to quickly react to any of the kind of stuff that's happening right there. Big concern and a big thing to point out, if you do choose to play Disc in this fight, every single hit of penance, every single tick of penance will count towards extra torment if you're hitting the wrong target here. I think I just did it right before I went down the first time, where I accidentally penanced the wrong target. You get tons and tons of extra torment, and it's extremely punishing. So be very, very careful with that if you're playing Disc on this fight, because it's really easy to get a lot of unnecessary additional torment out. For managing the torment for everybody, because you also are not able to align a specific time to when all the raid damage is going to be happening, you have to have a little bit more flexible of a system in order to make sure that everyone is able to have a raid cooldown available when you need it, when they're also upstairs. In the top right hand corner, I have an Exodus Raid Tools tracker just built into the add-on, where I'm able to see everybody's torment, you know. So you kind of have the option of dictating 2 healers in particular at a certain point in time. When you hit 60 torment, go downstairs, you know, something like that. You have that option, and just say, okay, in our situation, we could just say, you know, the priest and the monk go down first, you know, and or you could just choose to watch the torment for your healers in particular, and make sure that you're able to say, okay, you 2 go down first, then try to use your raid cooldowns before you have to go down, and then that way, when things start getting really, really scary, as those 2 healers are down, and say in this example, the paladin and shaman are still upstairs. In this situation, you want to make sure that the paladin and shaman are holding on to the raid cooldowns, and are using them, and holding on to using them until just before the other 2 healers are coming back upstairs. You know, you want them to be able to use them when there's only 2 healers around, and when you actually need it, you know. And again, that's one reason why Disc, I feel like, is very comfortable in this fight, is that I'm not kind of based around a 3-minute cooldown to do a huge amount of my healing, and I'm able to kind of have that flexibility with Atonement to have it when I need it, and to be able to utilize it no matter what's really going on. I think we generally did it best where we were able to stretch our torments as much as possible, and kind of as often as possible, as long as we're not having all the healers getting up there in torment at the exact same time. You know, there's nothing that says all the healers have to clear by this point or anything like that. So if the 2 people go down and your first 2 healers still have like 50, 60 torment and stuff like that, and it's not looking like they're going to be getting any more anytime soon, then they're free to stay up, you know. The very concerning thing you have to kind of think about is how much damage is going to be let through from Belak, because all the damage raid-wise that you have to worry about is based on how good of interrupts your ranged DPS has. More often than not, it's going to be the ranged DPS. So being very mindful of that, and kind of looking at times where all the ranged DPS can kind of accumulate lots and lots of torment at the same time, which will then suggest that they're all going to be going down at around the same time. That's also going to mean less interrupts, and it's going to be a lot easier for huge waves of damage to come out. So that's one thing, you know, if you're very mindful of that, if you're able to kind of keep an eye on that, while you're watching out for all the void zones, kiting ads, everything else like that, you're able to have a very, very considerable advantage going forward into this. So those are definitely some things to kind of keep in mind. being as aggressive as you possibly can. I'm trying not to stand in the confessional for more than I have to. I think sometimes I've gotten very lucky and I've only been in there for a couple of seconds. So it's very, very important just to be as aggressive as you can, as ruthless as you can to pick up those orbs, because you really don't have time to judge who's going to be up, who's going to be down, and who that person you're taking the orb from. But as a healer, I think it's extremely, extremely important that you are there, you are available to be able to top people off as rapidly as you possibly can in order to make sure that this is a success. As long as you're keeping an eye on that, I think the boss will go down without a problem. Hope you all enjoyed this quick run through of Demonic Inquisition. Hopefully it gave you some things to think about as you're going to progress on this encounter. Healers definitely have quite a big job to kind of heal through a lot of the mistakes that some of the ranged DPS can make, or just, stabilize the chaos that can come from all the torment in this fight. So, hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you all found it helpful. Be sure to check out the live stream, as we'll be streaming all of our Mythic progression. It's Monday through Thursday, 7 to 11 Eastern Standard Time. Link is going to be in the description below. All my UI links are also linked in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all next time.